Well, the afternoon is certainly drifting on here at the Emerald Hotel. We've had a good day. We've probably had too much to drink, Milesy. We probably shouldn't be doing interviews when we've had this much scotch. And what have you been drinking?
No, well, speak for yourself. I'm okay because I'm saving myself. I'm going out to dinner tonight, and it's interesting to sit around and be a non-participator of the alcohol and watch things unfold before you.
What do you mean a non-participator?
Well, yeah, I'm just having a wee sip.
Wee sip.
That's
because
what's going on though.
That's because he's got a dinner date with Alison, after here. But the legendary Greg Miles. Greg, when you look around this room and there's just some amazing people in here that have been in this racing radio industry for a long time. What are your memories, recollections of your career?
Well, it's amazing. I look around and I know all of these people. Obviously, I've been around a long time, but I go back and I was sitting behind JV, John Vertigan. He is a man about to turn 80, as you know. And when I was a kid, I used to listen to him riding around on my push bike, pretending I was riding in races and listening to JV cross between all the callers in Melbourne, Sydney and Adelaide. And here he is, and I had the great privilege of working with him. And we might not have the great old callers of the Joe Brown and Bert Bryant here with us anymore, and Bill Collins, of course. But the next level behind those coming through with Brian Martin and the like, and all the people around that era, to be in this room all together, it's extraordinary. It's a one-off. This will never happen again, and I'm glad that you're being able to record little bits and pieces, and so we can look back and remember. But just looking over your shoulder there, and Brian Smith, Channel 9, we were kids watching him doing the news. It's fantastic.
So, Greg, you called 36 Melbourne Cups, so you've broken the record of Melbourne Cup calls. Nobody's ever going to go near that again, because you took over as the chief race caller at the ABC at 21, so nobody's going to be able to do that. So how does it feel now to be retired from the game that you loved? So when the Spring Carnival comes around and the Melbourne Cup, how do you feel now that you're not actually broadcasting to the world?
Feels good. I loved it when I was doing it, but Melbourne Cup Day is another event altogether, and it's pressure beyond all belief. So to have survived 36 of them, I'm happy to pass the baton. And Matty, he'll only be about 80 when he breaks my record, so, I'll be around to see that happen and pat him on the back, I reckon. And glad we're doing this interview now, because I think they've just run the second leg of the double at Sandown. Last race is coming up pretty soon. He'll be barging through, and there'll be new blood in the room here. I won't be here, so, good luck looking after that.
I guess, it's a bit sad in some ways to say that after 36 years you will be remembered for the line and a champion becomes a legend, as Bill Collins is remembered for racing into equine immortality. Was that the hardest Melbourne Cup you called in terms of pressure, because she was going for her third cup?
Yeah, probably, because everyone was watching her. And there are another 23 horses to call in the race, and I didn't want anything to happen to her and me not see it, because then you'd look like a mug, because those who didn't follow racing were still watching her and not watching all the other races, all the other horses in a race. So that was another layer of pressure. But God love her, she got out, she made the race a pretty easy race to finish off. She just was always going to win once she got in the clear.
What is the pressure like on you as a human being, trying to contain your emotions and excitement? Brian Martin.
Too long. We're going to go to a commercial break, and they're moving up now for the next Wagga.
Well, we'll record the moon, and we'll be back with the second half of the Greg Miles story after this.
Thank you, BM. Now John Vertigan's here too. Are you all right, JB?
The races in Perth have been cancelled.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you. Now, we're trying to be serious here. All right,
I'm sorry. The races in Perth have been postponed.
Thank you. The pressure on you when you know the entire world is listening to you. What is the pressure? Like, how did you cope for all those years?
Well, it's enormous pressure. I don't want to go into a little sad sob story, but it is. Only those who've been in that position would really know what it feels like, you know. And Brian will tell you, Matty will tell you when he gets here. You know that it's a race that means everything to, well, the world now, but it meant everything to Australians. It's part of our DNA, and even those who don't have a bet, they might just draw a horse in a raffle, but they want to hear that horse called. So your whole year, I felt, got down to the last little bit of the Melbourne Cup. So I felt like it was a test of your entire year's performance down to 12 seconds. Get that right and you're off the hook for the next 12 months, you know. I'm glad I don't do it anymore.
Well, Greg, look, you gave me my first job in radio when I was 16. You employed me at the ABC to be your offsider and to do the tote calls. So thank you from me to you, because, you know, that was enormous for me, and you've been a great mate over a long period of time. Enjoy retirement. Go and have a couple of reds, but don't be late for Allison, because you've got to be on your dinner date.
I'm always on time for Allison. Always. And thank you. You've done a great job in organising this wonderful reunion. It's great fun to be part of it.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers.